It's time for the Voice of Indie. Your hosts today are Beem, author and producer for Fresh Ink Group, and Stephen Gies, author, producer, composer, and publisher for Fresh Ink Group.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Voice of Indie podcast. The second one we're doing with the video. This is show number episode 233. So how you doing tonight down there, Mr. G's?
I'm doing fine. It's not quite as cold as it was a few days ago, but I hear it's coming back. So hey, we're excited.
It's bitter cold here. We started the morning off, I think, at 7 degrees. I think we're at like 14 right now. So it's getting warmer.
Yeah. Well, I've got pictures of grandsons building snowmen, and you don't get to do that in Alabama when you're a kid.
No,
more than maybe one time every few years, and then there's not enough snow anyway. But so yeah, we're kind of liking this video. What are the 5 places people can watch us now, Beem?
We are now on, if the big one is YouTube. Finally figured that out on how to get this restream to run through YouTube. So we're on YouTube. We are on Instagram at Voice of Indie. We are on Facebook at Fresh Ink Group LLC, and we are on LinkedIn at Fresh Ink Group. And I think that's it. Yeah, it's 5 of them, 5 channels. So
yeah. That will probably expand in the future, but for now, 5 is a good place to start. And YouTube, Facebook, those are some hot places to watch shows. So we're looking forward to the numbers going up. How did we do in the first week when nobody knew where we were?
Yeah, during the live broadcast, we can watch and see how many people are watching, and I think we topped out at 49. Just as we were leaving the air, there were 49 people watching, which was really cool. It started
at like 3, didn't it? Something like that?
Yeah, it started like 3, and then it just kind of, people started figuring out where it's at. And I'm over here on Instagram trying to figure out, where our live one is, and I'm not seeing it over on the Instagram channel. So that one might be out for the week, because it's one of those things that they needed a stream key, and I think I grabbed the right one, but I wasn't sure. So anyway, the big ones are Facebook, forgot about X, at Voice of Indie, and YouTube. Those are the real big ones. As long as we're on there, we're all right. But I'll get the Instagram one figured out.
If any of you have weird or unique experiences, or have a problem, or have a question, or whatever, send us a note, and use the contact form at freshinkgroup.com, and we will we'll look into that, see if we can get all this stuff figured out. We're hoping the next couple of weeks this will really be smooth, and we'll be cranking, and the numbers will just keep flying up.
Okay. So before we get going here, I'm gonna throw a couple of these questions or these things up here. Jerry Pate saying nothing, and then he says, "Yeah, it works." And Patricia Guthrie, she says,
"That was the torpedo button, Jerry. Don't push the torpedo button."
And we got Jan Sykes out there. Jan will be on next week, I believe. Loving the new video format. Yeah. Well, welcome aboard to everybody, and viewers. I always want to say listeners. Viewers, if you want to participate, there's a little chat thing on YouTube, on Facebook, on X. Leave your comments. We will get to them. And
throw your placard up.
Yeah. So
post comments live.
Here we go. We got the post comments live. Now on here, it's So we need to update that with the Instagram and the YouTube, but we'll get to that. So
next week it'll say all 5 of them if we've got Instagram working right. Again, we're still playing with the stuff.
Still trying to figure things out, but that's the cool thing about having a place like YouTube, because you can go over to YouTube and just type in, "How do I do this?" And here's somebody on the video saying, "Hey, you want to run something through Restream? I'll show you how." Here's
the videos and find the one that you can understand the person's talking.
Yeah. Hey, as long as we
got a way to do this.
As long as they're showing how to do it, they can be speaking Chinese, and it doesn't bother me. But here it says, "Gary, you are in reverse." That's because you have the mirror camera on.
You remember how to do that?
Yeah, you click on the wheels with the setting.
Okay,
and go to your camera and click off the button that says mirror image. and you're frozen. So
Mm-hmm.
you might want to hurry up. There you go. You're off though. We just got your little SG placard.
It says unable to access the camera. Great.
Oh, all right. Well,
I'm going to quit that and try it during the. Oh no.
yeah, that's what I'm telling you. So, all right.
All right. Well, take me off the screen for a minute while I work on that. Let's keep moving here. These two shows were going to be our end of season show or end of year show last year. We're going to look at the 24 books we published in 24 and 24, except the 24th one we were a couple of days late because we had to do some extra reviews and stuff. So last week we looked at the first 12 books that we published in 2024. This week we're going to look at the second 12, including that one that was a couple of days late, and play the book trailers for them as well.
Yeah.
So, now, what's going on with the Carters? Geez,
You're still not.
I haven't worked on it yet. You're going to leave me off the screen until we play.
Well, yeah, there's no way I can tell when you're back on the screen whether you're on or not. So
okay, so what's going on with the Carters and their Meet the Author podcast?
Well, apparently they have decided. I think they said that they had decided that when it becomes more work than fun, that they were going to, pack it in, so to speak, and that's what they've done. But they've got hundreds of episodes that you can go back and watch. Some great interviews with some of your favorite authors, and just some all around good people. And the ghost story ones are the cool ones when they go out and do their little ghost hunting and things like that. That's cool. So all those are still available at their website and all the places that you watch their podcast from. So yeah, they've wrapped it up. So, but we wish them good luck. They're still out there. They'll still be out there and doing what they do, and they're writing still, and I believe they're still doing the ghost hunting stuff. But these podcasts do take a lot of work. I mean, we prep for this one, for like getting the guests in here. It's weeks and months in advance. We'll get the guests lined up, and then there you are. I'm gonna go ahead and pop you back in there. All right, but yeah, I mean in the week leading up to this, we've got to come up with questions and what are we going to do for rundowns or for roll-ins and all this stuff. We got another comment up here. I was seeing Gary just fine. He was not reversed on my screen. Well, he was reversed if you looked at his shirt. His shirt was backwards, and his hat. His hat's looking like white, but it's a Fresh Ink Group hat. Yeah. So that was because there's an option on there where it can be a mirror. So when you hold up your right arm, it's on that side of the screen. I turn it off so that when I'm wearing a Led Zeppelin shirt, I'm wearing a Led Zeppelin shirt and not a Nil Dell, whatever. All right. So, the one, okay. So we got the post your comments live, and then
contact the show.
Yeah. So talking about the, we already did that. So, all right. Contact the show. I can get that out there. Yeah. This is how you can contact the show. Go over to the Fresh Ink Group website, freshinkgroup.com, and you will see that little tab up there that says contact. If you want to contact us, if you want to contact one of our guests, you didn't get a chance to catch when they were on the show, didn't get a chance to catch their contact info, we'll make sure that the guest gets that. So you can go over there, you can contact us and everybody else over there that's been on this show. So, and
if you lose a contact lens, come over here, and there it is, right there. I can see.
We'll smash a bottle and melt it and turn it into a brand new one. Now,
so where did we go in December to see somebody who played some music?
Okay, now this guy here says, this is JLP. JLP says you're still backwards, but we know what his shirt says. I'm skilled.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the place to do that in here, so next week we'll make sure it's reversed.
Yeah, and you got to do it every time you come out because it reverts back. And Jan says, I got you to the explanation. Now, we went down to
or up to coming from Alabama.
Yeah, he was coming from Alabama. I went over to from where I'm at, Waterford, and we saw good friends of ours. You guys have, if you listened to the show for a while, you've heard Wide Track, the band, the father and son duo that have the alternative prog rock band. It's alternative, progressive rock, and they've got a new album coming out this year. They're still putting the finishing touches on it, although son Zach is doing something different. But the new album is going to be called Galatea. And we went down there and got to see a free private concert. And they played a bunch of songs from the new album. And we just had a good time, had some drinks, adult beverages, and things like that. And it was just a good time. There was about 20 people there, and caught up with them. And now Zach, the son, it's Ron Tippin and Zach Tippin, and Zach the son got accepted to Berklee School of Music, so he's there this month until I believe it's late spring. So good luck with that. And
yeah, congratulations, Zach.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to the new album. And we got a message here from Barbara Johnson. Hello, guys. How y'all doing? Welcome to the new format, Barbara, and we are glad to have you there.
Yeah, you'll be on the schedule here pretty soon too.
Yes, you will.
All right, so how do we subscribe to the newsletter?
You subscribe to the newsletter by doing this. Let's put that over there, get us out of there. And over on the freshinkgroup.com, there is the newsletter sign up. Just go down there, put your first name, last name, email address, click that button, and boom, you are subscribed. And the newsletter is cool because this is where you get all of the new releases that we've got coming out. You've got excerpts from books. You've got, like here, you'll see on the screen, Angie Birmingham, she had a book signing and met with some really good success. Jan Sykes has done some really cool book signings too.
Nell Cooper just did another one tonight.
Yeah. So with this, you'll also get each week this show. And now that we've got this going through YouTube, this is the link that you'll get in there to YouTube. But if you're on Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever, you can watch it there as well. But it's just cool to have that one master link there.
Yeah, we thought about saying if you'll subscribe to the newsletter, we'll show up and make you pancakes for breakfast, but we couldn't work out the logistics of that. It just got too complicated. But check it out. That newsletter is very cool. So let's look at the top 25 print bestsellers from Fresh Ink Group.
Okay, before we do, we're going to throw this in here. I'm thinking this is some kind of like, it's almost like Vulcan. Patricia Guthrie, co-gratu.
Latin.
I think it's congrats.
Now, author of the Trains of Alabama book, Braden Dexter, is speaking Latin right now. So maybe he can come let us know if that said something.
All right. So we're going to do the book. No, we want that. There we go. All right. So let me throw that back up. And we're going to go. Here are the number 19 through 20. You want to explain why it's not 25?
Yeah, we started a new year and everything reset, and the numbers have reset again. So these are the 19 print books that have sold enough copies so far in the last 2 weeks to make our bestseller list. So this is going to be the top 19, actually. If you look from the bottom up, The Chair, Volume 5, Mintaka, Alnalam, and Alnatak by Robert McKenzie, who was our guest last week on the show. And this is the 5th of his 5 chair books. This just came out, and it's already making the bestseller list. Above that, we got Carlisle Tom's Edge of Smoke. That's a stark novel about abuse and redemption, and it's just pretty cool. We've got 4 books out by Carlisle Tom's now.
And he will be a guest in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. And then above that, There Must Be Something in the Water, Anthology of the Fourth Generation, Descendants of Green Pond After the Emancipation, by Abigail Miriam Hamilton Hugueny, who's the co-author of another book that I think is going to be on our list too. And then above that, another Carlisle Tom's. This is The Gulls Are Always Laughing, A Gay Man's Journey to Healing and Spirituality. Now, this is prose and poetry. The other 3 books we've published by him are novels. And then above that, Jordan Janelle A. Jordan's The Reality of Interpersonal Leadership, A Guide to Leading Authentically. This is kind of a workbook and a daily thing for developing your leadership skills, not just in your profession and your career, but in life as well.
Yeah.
Nowhere to Go But Tomorrow. Now, are our boxes covering the corner of that screen? Do you know, Beem?
I have to do that every time.
All right.
If there was a way to click that so it would work every time. Oh, you know what? I bet you there is. There we go.
All right, people, we're learning how to run this studio. Nowhere to Go But Tomorrow is the novel by Nell Cooper. She just had a book signing in St. Clair tonight. She's listening to us in the car on the way home. Sold some books, made some friends. And by the way, when you do these kinds of events, authors, getting out there and getting your name out, getting your titles out, and actually selling some books is great. But you get to meet people. And don't ever underestimate that. Don't short shrift it. Talk to them. Get to know them. You write down addresses and whatever. You'd be surprised what kinds of allies good reader fans can be in spreading the word and helping you sell books. Still not enough. Minority Millennials in the Workforce, also by Janelle Jordan, which we just looked at her Reality of Interpersonal Leadership. And above that, How to Teach Driving, the Parents Edition by Kenneth Lindquist. There's also an Instructor's edition of that book, both in hardcover and softcover, and all ebooks. Now, There Must Be Something in the Water, Anthology The Fourth Generation, is on this list again because this is the hardcover edition by Abigail Hughini. So cool. Congratulations, Abigail. And then David Carroll. Hello, Chattanooga. Famous people who have visited the Tennessee Valley. He's the NBC evening newscaster out of Chattanooga. And we've got 3 books by him, which are all very cool.
Yeah.
Operation Ivy Bells and Mac McDowell Mission, and then Operation Ivy Bells and Mac McDowell Mission by Robert G. Williscroft. That's the soft cover, and then above that is the hardcover outselling the soft cover. Above that, Journey Through the Lens, Creative Guide to Nature Photography by Angie Birmingham. This is a great how-to be a professional photographer or even a good quality amateur photographer, and she's got a lot of cool stuff in there. I learned a whole lot just from editing that book. Above that, Tina Reese, A Light in the Darkness, Words and Poems of Encouragement. And then Jerry Pate, he's retired U.S. Navy Lieutenant Commander who's got a book called Submariner, 30 Years of Hijinks and Keeping the Fleet Afloat, with an assist from Robert G. Williscroft, putting the whole thing together. And that's 60-chapter memoir about life above and below the sea and all the hijinks that ensued. So congratulations, Jerry. This book's been out quite a while now, and it's still riding on our bestseller lists.
Yeah.
And then the top 4. How to Start and Run Your Own Food Truck Business in Florida by A.K. Wingler. Those food truck books just keep jumping in and out of the list. This one is one of 3. What are the other 2 states besides Florida?
Tennessee and Georgia.
Yeah.
Georgia on my mind.
Now that gets us to our top 3. You notice 2 and 3 are the same book. By who? Who's that Mark Herndon guy?
He played drums for the mighty Alabama, the country music supergroup Alabama. He played for 28 years, almost 30 years, 3 decades. And he was there for all the big smash albums and the huge tours. And he tells some fantastic stories. He really does. That
he does. So you've seen it on there twice, because in the number 3 slot is the softcover edition and the number 2 slot is the hardcover edition. Woo-hoo. So congratulations to you, Mark. And then, of course, Nowhere to Go But Tomorrow by Nell Cooper. That's the paperback edition. Nell, with Nowhere to Go But Tomorrow, has the distinction of probably being most in our top number 1 slot in the past couple of months, even maybe ahead of Mark Herndon. So congratulations to all of you for making the top print bestseller list from Fresh Ink Group.
Yeah. All right. So we are going to tell you about the archives. I'm going to scroll back down here. I really need to start deleting these placards as I do them, because then I have to search for these. But this one here, if you want to find our earlier audio podcast, now the Spotify and iHeartRadio, I still have to go over there and check and see if those are still there. They may not be, but if they're not, don't worry about it. They're at all these other places: freshinkgroup.com, YouTube, beamweeks.com, stephengs.com. So they're well supported all over the place. And then, of course, now that we've switched over to the in living color video, We've got the podcast archives for that, and this is going to be in the same places. And get the word out, share them. If you can't watch it live, watch it in the rerun, and share the links. Get those words out. Get the word out there for help us build this up.
All right. So who do we got in the studio, Beem?
We've got let me get over here and pop this camera on there. Oh, it's Mr. Greenhoe. How you doing?
Doing good.
With his Beavis and Butthead flag back there.
That's right.
All right. So how you doing tonight, Verwayne?
Doing fine. Been a nice day out.
Temperatures?
Currently 41.
Man,
Wow.
I can only dream about 41.
In case people don't know,
I got it in reverse, 14. I got it in reverse. Yeah, he's in the armpit of Florida, the panhandle area.
All right. So you want to throw up our other placard about subscribing?
Yeah, this is going to be the last one here. And this is how you can subscribe to this YouTube channel if you're watching on YouTube, which some of you are. This is how you do it. Get over there, subscribe to it. Now you will see on here. Can you guys see my my arrow or not?
I don't see it. No.
Okay. Well, I can see it. So, but if you can't see it, it doesn't matter. But there where it says home, videos, shorts, and playlists, there's now a button there, a tab for live, and you can click on there and you'll see all of the coming up live shows. And when show day comes, click on that. Boom. You can even click on that for them to give you a notification before the show starts. So keep that stuff in mind. And we hope to build this into something pretty cool. We got a lot of people that we want to get on here, and welcome back some other guests that have been on already. So,
all right, so let's look at those books we published last year. Starting in the second half of the year, the 13th book that we published in 2024 was Journey Through the Lens by Angie Birmingham, who also wrote the introduction for Trains of Alabama by Braden Dexter Green. So Angie's pretty cool. We like Angie. And then the next book we published after that was by Jan Sykes, A Noble Bargain. So we're going to play the two trailers for those books back to back and come back and then fling tomatoes at them.
All right. The first one, Journey and Noble Bargain. Here we go.
In Journey Through the Lens, Creative Guide to Wildlife Photography, celebrated wildlife photographer Angie Birmingham introduces burgeoning photo takers to their photo equipment and helps them develop the techniques for stunning outdoor photography. From mastering exposure to optimizing focus and lighting, Angie shows how to find the right styles to tell visual stories and present compelling images. Learn landscape composition along with the best ways to shoot animals, birds, and flowers. Find out how skilled photographers capture all the details while manipulating backgrounds and mood. Order a digital copy in your favorite ebook format or collect a print edition in full-sized paperback or case laminate hardcover. Available worldwide from your favorite bookseller. From newcomers to professionals, everybody who loves taking wildlife pictures will thrill at how easy Angie Birmingham makes it for you to continue your own journey through the lens.
A true testament of character, resilience, and the magic of never giving up. The year is 1948, and folks in the sawmill town of Crossett, Arkansas work hard and play hard. Oliver Quinn does both. Oliver is the son of Irish immigrants who firmly believe in pursuing the American dream. His deepest desire is to play Major League Baseball. He only needs one chance to prove himself. Rose Blaine is living in a nightmare where dreams don't exist. She's suffered for years at the hands of her violent moonshiner father and his partner. During a brutal attack, she must fight back or die. The aftermath is devastating. Fueled by desperation, Rose strikes a life-changing bargain with Oliver. If he'll take her and her brother to St. Louis, Missouri, she'll introduce Oliver to her uncle, a baseball legend. While their journey is fraught with unseen perils, they forge an unbreakable bond and make surprising allies. When destiny throws them a curveball, they must find the courage to create a hopeful future out of the ashes of shattered dreams with newfound fortitude. Read A Noble Bargain, Book 2 following A Beggar's Bargain in the Bargainer series by best-selling author Jan Sykes. A Beggar's Bargain and A Noble Bargain are available worldwide from multimedia publisher Fresh Ink Group. In jacketed hardcover, softcover, and all ebook formats. The Bargainer series by Jan Sykes.
All right, Journey Through the Lens. That book came out of the gate doing very well, and the hardcover. A lot of people are wanting the hardcover because that's a reference book as well. I mean, you keep that thing on the shelf for years, you pass it down to your kids, you share it with your friends. It's just a very cool book. Now, if you go over to Jeff and Angie Photography on the internet, you can find a lot of her pictures and stuff like that. She puts on workshops and she does stuff for teenagers. She's even invited a couple of teenagers I know to travel out to Texas. And if they can't afford to do that kind of stuff on their own, she gets grants and pays for them. So she'll bring groups out there and take them out for 3 or 4 days in a boat doing wildlife photography and teaching them how to do stuff. So Angie Birmingham's Journey Through the Lens, we highly recommend that. Now,
Yeah, because, you know, with that book, I mean, if you see some of those pictures and you're thinking those are really cool, she'll show you how, teach you how to do them yourself.
How to make that background look like it's moving and how, you know, the glows and all that.
Yeah, or the main part is right there. Everything else is kind of blurred, like it's, you know, a running cheetah or something like that.
Yeah, you've done some photography, haven't you, Verwayne?
Yes, sir. I was track photographer at Crystal Motor Speedway. And on an average Saturday night, I was taking about 5,000 pictures a night.
Wow.
You had no trouble making it look like things were moving fast in the background, did you?
Actually, the thing was supposed to be, the car is supposed to be still and everything behind it to blur.
Yeah.
Speaking of that book on photography, I bought a copy of that for one of the young ladies that worked for me, and I bought it and sent it to her, and she said it really helped her.
Good.
All right.
Encourage her to leave a 5-star review on Amazon.
There you go.
Because we're all playing that game.
Yep.
All right. What about this Noble Bargain? This Jan Sykes author. She's out of Texas, isn't she?
Yeah, and she's going to be on next week. So be sure to tune in. Yeah, this is a Noble Bargain. That's book 2 in the Bargainer series, and we want to help her sell a whole lot more. So definitely tune in next week and discover this fantastic Texas author. We got a lot of Texas authors that come on this show.
Yeah.
Last week we had Robert McKenzie, another Texas author.
Something in the water. And since they have private water utilities down there, because one of our authors owns one, actually owns a water utility in Texas, there's no telling what they're putting in the water, right?
Yeah. Letters and words.
Yeah, I'm telling you. All right, so let's keep moving through our list here. The next 2 books that we published in 2024 were Operation Vela Redux, a Mac McDowell mission by Robert G. Williscroft. And then after that, we did The Reality of Interpersonal Leadership by Janelle A. Jordan, that workbook for professional development and personal development and whatnot. Now, we're a little bit behind catching up on some of our trailers because we've been trying to put together stuff to do a live video podcast. So what we're going to play for Operation Vela Redux is the Mac McDowell mission trailer that we currently have, which does not include the latest book. But we're going to talk to you about
it will.
But
and you're talking about putting this show together. Speaking of Robert G. Williscroft, I just finished today and uploaded his audiobook for Keyed. It's part of the Ort Chronicles.
Ort Chronicles series, yeah.
And so a civilization, Keyed, a civilization in hiding. And fantastic book. I'm going to be writing a 5-star review for it soon. And it was a lot of fun putting that together. But anyway, so working on that, kind of have to spread my time out for different stuff. But the videos, I'll try to get the videos done here real quick and have them up before you know it.
All right, let's roll it.
All righty. This is that one right there.
Now, from Fresh Ink Group and best-selling author Robert G. Williscroft, the Mac McDowell Mission Series. With a security clearance above top secret, Saturation Dive Team Officer in Charge Mac McDowell leads his team into critical Cold War counter-Soviet missions. Watch Mac prove what brave men can achieve under real pressure, the kind that will steal your air and crush the life out of you. In Operation Ivy Bells, it's the summer of 1972 when Mac and his off-the-books Deepwater Espionage Group are conducting a daring undersea wiretapping operation to gather Russian intel and avert world war. Join nuclear submariner Mac McDowell for extreme diving, a battle with giant squid, and more as he risks everything in the most dangerous operation yet. In Operation Icebreaker, Mac McDowell is leading his submarine team for a mission to lay SOSUS arrays under the Arctic Island. Clash with the highly automated Alpha-class Soviet submarine. Overwhelmed by mechanical problems, the Soviet crew abandons their sub near Point Barrow, Alaska. The skipper launches DSRV-1 Mystic, so Mac and his crew can board the empty sub and gather intelligence. The arrival of an even more advanced Soviet sub leads to breathtaking underwater clashes with the specter of war looming. Will Mac and his crew be sunk by the Soviets, or will they safely return to Alaska, where Mac's new love, Kate, anxiously waits? The McDowell Mission Series by Robert G. Williscroft is available worldwide in jacketed hardcovers, paperbacks, ebooks from Kindle to Nook and Kobo and more, plus exclusive audiobook editions. The Mac McDowell Mission Series is proudly published by Fresh Ink Group. Take a deep breath and dive in for thrilling submarine adventures in every Mac McDowell mission.
The Reality of Interpersonal Leadership, a guide to leading authentically, is a guide intended to help leaders engage with their teams and build their skill sets authentically. The content in each weekly section is relatable to situations such as current events, sports, and music to convey analogous dialogue. Each week, the reader will capture their takeaways from reading the content, commit to a weekly charge in implementing actions, and finally, capture feedback from self-reflections and others in the weekly takeaways. The passages build over time, becoming more in-depth, allowing the leader to become comfortable with journaling. With passages to cover the year, as well as a bonus entry, the reader is set to evolve authentic and interpersonal leadership amongst others. From the multimedia publisher, Fresh Ink Group, The Reality of Interpersonal Leadership, A Guide to Leading Authentically by Janelle A. Jordan is available in full-size hardcover, softcover, and all ebook formats.
All right, Mr. G's, you're off the air there. All right.
Hey.
Hey. So now on my end, it froze there for a minute, and then it click on it, and it clicked, and it started to move again. I hear some dogs barking. That's all right. Now, Stephen, you were saying what was this about audios?
I started hearing the audios replaying and overlapping.
Okay.
Like 5 seconds later, it would go again, and then it would go again, and I'm hearing 4 different audios all differently.
Yeah, I wasn't getting that. I was getting it playing straight through after it froze, and I hit it. It's just one of those things. Verwayne, what were you getting?
Mine just froze.
Did it start playing again?
After about a 12-second delay, yes.
Okay. You didn't hear like extra audios in there?
No, sir.
Okay.
Anybody who's watching want to send us a comment, let us know what you were seeing. We got to figure out what the deal is here.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, this is another one of those things. Last week, the videos played fine for everybody else except for me, the guy playing the videos. They would freeze here, and I would have to watch the little image of Stephen on there wave when it was getting ready to unwind. And it just did that for a couple of them. I'm guessing it's just a lag in the Wi-Fi. I'm back away from the router. So,
well, let's hope the next one works, because our next 2 books are Dealing with Grief by Verwayne Greenhoe. I never heard of him. Have you?
Nah, I think that's that dude that used to chop down trees up there and
and
throw them into Lake Superior.
And then Braden Dexter Green's Trains of Alabama. So let's play these 2 trailers and hope it works.
All right. Now, this guy here, JLP, says the whole video just froze for me. Yeah. Well, we're trying to work the kinks out.
JLP, did you see the second one about the reality of interpersonal leadership without problems? Because I saw that one fine.
Okay. All right. So we're going to have to click on this next video and cross our fingers and hope that this actually goes all the way through.
Grief is a universal emotion. From the first caveman who lost a friend to someone who left us this morning, grief will be a part of our lives at some point. Everyone handles this powerful emotion differently. Some will grieve for a few weeks and then settle in and remember sweet memories, and some will grieve for years. There is no set method of grieving correctly. As a medic and then an ER nurse, Verwayne Greenhoe saw many people grieving. No one lives forever, but he learned to keep his words simple as he helped the families deal with their loss. In Dealing with Grief, Verwayne hopes you might find some comfort. Dealing with Grief is published in jacketed hardcover, softcover, and all ebook editions by multimedia publisher Fresh Ink Group. Let Verwayne Greenhoe share his ideas and experiences with you for dealing with grief.
Teenager Braden Dexter Green has traveled North Alabama, collecting photos of his favorite trains and railroad settings. From the peculiar freight engines of Amtrak, to the beautiful heritage units of Norfolk Southern, to the new rebuilds of CSX locomotives, Braden chronicles both the commonplace and unusual trains crisscrossing the state, carrying passengers and freight in Trains of Alabama. He takes a close look at some notable short lines, such as the Alabama and Tennessee River Railroad out of Gadsden and the Huntsville and Madison County Railroad Authority, which locks down its engines in the downtown area of Huntsville. Backgrounds include Birmingham's famous Sloss furnaces and several notable rail yards, including the CSX Boyles Yard in Tarrant, the Norfolk Southern Norris Yard in Irondale, and the BNSF East Thomas Yard in Birmingham. Featuring an introduction by renowned wildlife photographer and author of Journey Through the Lens, Angie Birmingham, Trains of Alabama is proudly published by Fresh Ink Group worldwide in a case laminate hardcover edition with premium color printing, a glossy softcover edition with standard color, and all ebook editions. Order copies for yourself and fans of railroad photography. It's the images that are the stars here, those mighty trains that move the world, even as they inspire the passions of one teen who shares his favorites in Trains of Alabama.
All
All
right.
right.
That
So-
train at the beginning, man, that if you're not prepared for it, you get the dust blowing out your ears, have a heart attack, something.
That was the plan.
That's just wow.
So, Verwayne, tell us about dealing with grief.
Yeah.
Everybody handles that differently. When my father died, I had problems for about 2 to 3 weeks. But after that, because I was a paramedic and whatnot, and I saw this stuff all the time, I kind of was able to continue without too much problem. But my sister, my oldest sister, she was out playing deep center field for months. And but basically, when I do this, I start out with a quote of somebody talking about grief. But I try to keep the sentences short, and I want to say simple words, because if you're just reading it now, you're going, is he writing this for somebody who doesn't read well? But as in working in ER, I found that you needed to not get into prolonged conversations with people and keep your sentences short, because you begin to lose. Normally, somebody begins to talk and talk and talk and talk. You listen to that. But when you're in grief, all you're hearing is bits and chunks. And I've been told that over and over by people that I met in the hospital. They'd come in a few weeks after losing somebody in our ER, and I've had several of them come up and give you big hugs and for being there for them. But and she told me, she says, the way you talked to me there in the ER, she says, made my life a little easier. So that's what I've tried to do in this book.
If somebody buys the book, what's in it? Is it step by step? Is it examples?
Examples, and tells you what to do, because some people, they let the grief overwhelm them. And there's a time and place for that. The length depends on you, but we get where you want to tell them how to begin to get out and get involved again. And it works. A lot of those phrases I used often in my own work. So it's a good thing to know how to talk to people, because not everybody, can handle that. I worked with some nurses who thought they were going to be able to work ER, and got in there, and you begin to see death on a daily basis, and it begins to get to you. And so I try not to let that happen.
Wow. Sounds like a very valuable book, and potentially very helpful to a lot of people. I mean, how many people go through life and never have to deal with serious grief?
Yeah, I think everybody at some point will.
Everybody.
But like what you were saying there, Verwayne, there are some people that don't want to hear words. They just want and maybe they don't even want a hug. They just want someone to sit there with them.
Exactly.
That's because like you said, everybody deals with it in a different way. So
Yeah, well, now we'll talk more about that book when you're a interview guest coming up in the next month or two as well, Verwayne. And you got some more books coming out too, and we got a couple more books of yours that we published too. So we got a lot to talk about with Verwayne in a future show. The Trains of Alabama book, Braden Dexter Green was 14 years old this past summer and decided to do a summer project, and that's travel around and get shots of heritage units and various rare trains and like where one company will buy out another one and they'll still have an engine painted with the original or whatever before they get it repainted. And he likes to collect that kind of stuff. And apparently there are millions of people who are into it. Rail fans, they call them, or foamers, which is what they call the ones that act crazy because, oh, it's a train, it's a train. Those are the foamers. But rail fans galore. And he's getting all kinds of great response from this book. He's got like almost 200 pictures in there of some really cool shots of trains. And then he writes, pages about short lines and this rail yard and that rail yard or whatever. So it was a fun summer project for him. And I helped him put together the book at the end, and we're all very proud of him. He just turned 15 a couple of weeks ago, and he's working on his second book. So if you're a rail fan, or if you know a rail fan, Trains of Alabama by Braden Dexter Green. And then you can also follow his blog, Arriving on Track One with Braden Dexter Green, or you can follow his YouTube channel, Braden Dexter Green Photography.
Yeah. So what's up next?
All right. The Mayor's Book. Loretta Spencer, A Passion for Service, a candid memoir by the first woman mayor of Huntsville, Alabama. Huntsville now being the biggest city in Alabama, having passed up Birmingham. We put out her memoir, and we also put out the Iapetus Federation, which is the last book in the Star Child series, which used to be the Star Child trilogy, but is now the Star Child saga with 4 books. So when we get to that one, you're going to see the Star Child trilogy trailer, because we haven't made a new trailer with the 4th book in it yet. We're still getting caught up. So let's check these out. Loretta Spencer, A Passion for Service, and the Iapetus Federation.
All right.
Loretta Spencer grew up passionate for helping others. Her volunteer work in support of local causes grew into deep devotion to the city and people of Huntsville, Alabama. She went on to serve 3 terms as the city's first woman mayor. In this candid memoir, Loretta recounts her early rise in politics, the campaigns, the deals, and the accomplishments that helped lead Huntsville to grow into Alabama's biggest city today. Loretta shares original photos, clippings, letters, notes from notables, and much more as she tells her personal stories and chronicles this important era of women's history. Read Loretta Spencer, A Passion for Service, a candid memoir by the first woman mayor of Huntsville, Alabama. Proudly published by Fresh Ink Group, Loretta Spencer's story is available in jacketed hardcover, glossy softcover, and all ebook formats.
Now, the Star Child trilogy by Robert G. Willis Croft is complete. In Book 1, Slingshot, 3 scientist engineers reach for the stars as they blend their skills with a host of skilled colleagues to create the world's first space launch loop. A team of young eco-terrorists will go to any length to halt the project. One woman is determined to scoop the story, reporting events to a watching world. Slingshot ranges from Seattle's financial district to the ocean bottom off Baker Island to the edge of space and across the vast panorama of an equatorial Pacific. It's a love story, a gender bender, and a mystery about a missing aviatrix, a conspiracy, and a true believer. It's about high finance, intrigue, heroism, fanaticism, betrayal, and humanity's surge into outer space. In Book 2, The Star Child Compact, an international team ventures to Saturn's moon Iapetus to verify it really is a derelict starship. They discover the founders, descendants of the starship's builders, who arrived in our solar system 150,000 years ago. Together with the founders, the explorers advance founder science with momentous implications for the entire solar system, paving the way for a joint push to the distant reaches of the galaxy. But a Persian Caliphate but Stowaway sabotages the mission, hoping to destroy science that he believes violates Islam. The Starchild Compact blends tomorrow's science with human foibles, fears, beliefs, and political intrigue, speculating on how civilization might develop while traveling on a generational starship, and how modern humans might interact with remnants of that civilization. In Book 3, the Iapetus Federation, besieged Israelis on Earth make their way to Mars as the Federation expands throughout the solar system. While global jihad rages on Earth, putting millions to the sword, the Starchild Institute develops wormhole transportation. But will this new technology be ready in time to rescue all that is left of the United States, the beleaguered Lone Star Conservancy, and remnants of other cultures around the globe? From hand-to-hand combat in the oceans, to battles on Earth's surface, to struggles in interplanetary space, our heroes fight to survive and expand to the far reaches of the universe. Robert G. Williscroft is an adventurer, polar explorer, deep-sea diver, nuclear submariner, scientist, and best-selling, award-winning author. His stories portray the accurate science and precise engineering that appeals to hard science fiction buffs. But the Starchild trilogy is for everyone who loves an epic tale, a grand journey by men and women who loom larger than life as they work, play, and love. Make the Starchild trilogy your own with individual hardcover, softcover, audiobook, and all major ebook editions worldwide, or collect the entire set for one epic journey by Robert G. Williscroft, the Starchild trilogy.
All right, those are two more authors we're looking forward to having on this podcast in the coming months as well.
Let me throw this in. It's Keyed, A Lost Civilization. The other one is Ran, A Civilization in Hiding.
In hiding, yeah.
These subtitles.
Keeping you on.
And JLP, he said that the video worked fine after it froze up. And Jan Sykes says, for me, the Williscroft video froze for a few seconds, and then everything worked fine on the previous one. Everything's working fine after that. So hopefully that's, not an ongoing issue.
Yep, we can only hope. So let's keep this thing moving. We've got The Gulls Are Always Laughing by Carlisle Thoms, and I believe Gwen Plano's The Soul Whisperer's Decision is the other one on this video.
All right.
If not, we'll find out.
Yeah. And Gulls and Soul. There we go. Woohoo.
The Gulls Are Always Laughing by Carlisle Thoms is poetry about transition from trauma and turmoil through relationships to spirituality and the ability to laugh at one's troubles. We have all fought through anguish, hopefully to become better citizens. The poetry covers Carlisle's formative years, growing up with abuse on a farm in the Ozarks, his adult relationships, and his transition to life on the shores of the coastal bend of Texas. He bears his heart and soul on these pages, but he hopes to bear witness to there being a better way, and it is always possible to overcome and rise above. Proudly published by Fresh Ink Group. The Gulls Are Always Laughing is available in jacketed hardcover, softcover, and all ebook formats at your favorite retailers worldwide. The Gulls Are Always Laughing by Carlisle Thoms.
Sarah Jameson, a nurse at County Central Hospital, survives an accident that kills her 2 young children. While comatose, she travels into the heavenly realm where she visits with her precious little ones. She is given a choice: return to her husband, Jack, or remain with her children in their celestial home. Jack was not in the fated automobile. Though he heard the crash and ran to help, there was nothing he could do. He suffers the loss of his children, fears the potential demise of his wife, and wonders about his own sanity. His struggle with PTSD from his military years has returned, and at times he cannot distinguish between the present and the past. An accident tragically changed the lives of this young family, But out of sorrow emerges unexpected blessings. You'll be deeply moved by Gwen M. Plano's new novel, The Soul Whisperer's Decision, proudly published by Fresh Ink Group in jacketed hardcover, softcover, and all ebook formats. The Soul Whisperer's Decision by Gwen M. Plano.
No, baby.
All right.
Couple more
Talking to your dogs there, Verwayne.
I'm talking to them. They're wanting to come into my office, and I'm telling them, no. So,
Yeah, one of them
All right.
sent us an email trying to get on the podcast, so there's more than one way to get on, I guess. All right, well, we're running out of time here, so let's go ahead and roll the chair and Matt's murder.
All right, we can do that. And by the way, speaking of Matt's murder, Pat Guthrie says, nothing has frozen for me. All right, well, that's good to hear. And we are going to show you the videos. Yeah, there we go.
A grand epic saga by Robert Mackenzie, the Chair series spans centuries, touching the lives of 22 generations of related mothers and daughters, their stories witnessed by a simple pine chair. Resolute, strong, loving, and fiercely protective, these women must strive to pass their values to new generations in a world of racism and sexism, politics, scandal, fashion, and even the rise and dominance of baseball. They live in privilege and poverty, with faith and despair, relishing every moment of love, even as they suffer abiding grief. Volume 1, Lightning, Thunder, and Glory, spans the 1600s through World War I, while Volume 2, Faith, Hope, and Love, follows these women's descendants into modern times and beyond. In Volume 3, 7, 8, and 9, the chair flashes back to pre-Civil War America, featuring a woman from the Second Mayflower, her daughter the black market Irish lace importer, and a Canadian World War I fighter pilot. Volume 4, Punt, Pass, and Kick, jumps forward with a gunboat battle, one courageous cattle drive, a suffragette in the ocean liner industry, a mysterious unpublished manuscript, and more. A blend of history and philosophy told through satire and parody, the story of the chair could be found in some old trunk in any dusty old attic. But Mackenzie breathes it alive with riveting tales that span the real and the imagined. Proudly published by Fresh Ink Group, the Chair series by Robert Mackenzie is available worldwide in jacketed hardcover, softcover, and all ebook editions. A grand epic saga by Robert Mackenzie, the Chair series spans centuries, touching the lives of 22 generations of related mothers and daughters, their stories witnessed by a simple pine chair. Resolute, strong, loving, and fiercely protective, these women must strive to pass their values to new generations in a world of racism and sexism, politics, scandal, fashion, and even the rise and dominance of baseball. They live in privilege and
All right, I'm gonna stop that because that apparently has got both that same video twice on there.
Okay.
So
All right. Well, it's been fun having you on the show, Verwayne. Now, as we mentioned, the 12 that we played tonight are new books. They've just come out recently, like The Chair just a few weeks ago, Matt's Murder last week.
and we will get Matt's Murder's video on next week's show, I promise.
Yeah, and we will play that next week. And we will have Verwayne back in a couple of weeks to talk more about his books as well. Since we didn't play one video, let's go ahead and play TR7. And this is not books that we published this year. This is a book by Beem Weeks and a book by Stephen G's. You ever heard of those guys, Verwayne? I hear they're hacks. I just hear they're total hacks. But, you know, what the heck.
The internet's full of whispering.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and play that and get this show wrapped up.
All right.
Extra, extra, read all about it. From Fresh Ink Group and author Beem Weeks. Chairs, baby.
Prepare to think as you explore these 19 short stories by author, composer, and producer Stephen Gies. Avoiding any single genre, this collection showcases Gies' storytelling from literary to Southern Gothic to coming of age, allegory, humor, and even fantasy, all finessed to say something about who we are and what we seek. Some of these tales have been passed around for years, others so virgin they have never known the seductive gaze of a reader's eyes. Now, you can go digital, Kindle, Nook, Kobo, iTunes, Google Play, and more, or you can keep it soft with a paperback to whip out in mixed company. Or you can really show off, be the envy of your crowd with a dust-jacketed hardcover. Fresh Ink Group is where it's coming from. Amazon and the rest are where it's at. Just point and click, and you too can feel the electric surge of the latest from Stephen Gies. So when life's currents get to pulling too hard, don't fight it. Just open the book and discover 19 new ways of going with the flow. Because now, more than ever, comes this time to float.
Be quiet, baby.
All right.
Yeah, I want to throw this out there. The girl on the cover of Jazz Baby, that's my niece, Melody. She's now, I think, like 20 years old. She's a mother now. She's got a baby boy by the name of Winston. She and her fiance. So,
All right. Who we got coming up in future shows?
next week we've got
Jan
Sykes, and after that we've got Carlisle Tom. So by next week we'll have some more to throw out there for you. So
yeah. All right. Well, we had a few technical things, but so far this seems to be working well. Each week it will get better. We will get younger. We will get better looking. We'll definitely try to have better looking guests. But we'll do what we can, as long as we're having some fun, right? And we appreciate all of you tuning in and showing your support and helping us spread the word. And we appreciate you coming back next time.
yeah, put the word out there and let everybody know that Wednesday nights you can see us now.
Yeah, subscribe to that newsletter. And again, thanks for stopping by tonight, Verwayne. We're looking forward to talking to you again here soon.
We will definitely have you back in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, we will see everybody next week.
Bye, everybody.
And, have a good week. Stay warm if you're in the cold places. Stay cool if you're in the warm places. And thoughts and prayers are with what's going on out in LA or Southern California, since it's not just LA anymore. See you later, everybody.
You've been a part of Voice of Indie, a production of Fresh Ink Group. Spread the word, support our guests, then find us at freshinkgroup.com and be sure to hashtag Fresh Ink Group.